Testing. Test. Okay. That sound. All right. All right. I got to kick you out of the chair, buddy, because we're starting from zero. Hey, I need you to go. I need you to leave. Okay. First and foremost, let's get the app running before we. Got all kinds of activity on the chair right now. That's the activity we got going on the chair right now. All right, let's set this up. Okay, we got that display working. I'm going to move the chair a little bit more towards the middle. Move it back a little bit. We're going to try setting up just like that. Oh, look, we got two guys here already. One guy that's on me and this other guy on the bed here. You, I need you to get in the chair. In the chair. In the chair, buddy. In the chair. I need one more. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to move this one ball. Don't move. Stay where you are. Okay. Uh, all right. All right, buddy. You know how to turn these balls on or what? Let's see. Let's see if I have to give these guys any instructions today. I've been working with them before we got started. They've already set off two balls. And just make sure. Hang on, I got to start all these. So I'm going to hit the chair. All right, so that lit up literally every single ball except for two of them on a string. Let me try the string. So I'm kind of weak on this ball right there, but otherwise it looks like it's okay. Now there's no correlation between what a good setup is for the cameras and a good setup for these guys to actually trigger them. They're not at all related. If it's easy for me to set off, it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to set them off at all. Okay, so far what they've set off today is they've set off the ball on the far right that's on the seat of the chair. And of the balls that are on the string, they've gotten the middle one. And I'm almost out of balls. Next week is going to be my last week, then I'm going to need to order some more. No, I think this guy knows what he's doing. Even though I've told you 1,000 times not to do that. You need to strike these things 20 or 30 times a minute. You're striking them at like using two hands. It's more like 100 times a minute, and I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. Go after the balls on the string. Go after this one. Let me just see what the energy feels like if I do this. Yeah, there's a lot of commotion going on there, but now they're touching me. This ball, that's what I want to see. Go after that ball right there. All right, so I'm gonna have them set off two balls, and then I'm gonna test the Faraday fabric and see if I could get these. Just I want to put the two ghosts together and see how they interact with each other. Generally speaking, they seem to be spooked by one another. Like you put them both together and they fight a little bit, and then one or both of them go. I don't want to record too long today. It's a little hot. Oh, good. Stay. One more. Thank you. Hang on, I'm just gonna stay here. I gotta move this ball. Ugh. Ugh. Bitch. Turn the light on. Stay in the chair. Don't move. One more. Thank you. I'm not gonna tell you how it works. If you can't get it working in 15 minutes, if you can't get it working in 15 minutes, I'll give you instructions. But it seems to me like you know what you're doing here. Try the balls on the string first. They'll be easier. sensitive. You should be able to get these bad boys. Yeah, but when you go after these balls and you fail, you're better off going after a different ball. Okay, you're also better off trying to strike right through it. So if you're trying to hit that ball, you start from here, you end here. You do that like every 2 seconds. Boom, one, two, boom. If you do that one at a time, you would have more success. Better. All right, so they do seem to go after whatever ball I adjust last, although they keep wanting to go after. They keep wanting to go after that ball on the right. Either that or there's something going on between them because if you look at my left arm, it's going spastic for no reason. I'm going to slip it on my right arm. Sorry, I'm going to slip it behind my back. No. So now my right arm's got a mind of its own, but it doesn't seem to be trying to hit the chair. There's enough activity going on that Jedasoft screen that makes me think that I can probably leave it and I'll get the same rate of success. But at any rate, I'm gonna have to put somebody new in there. The fact that they left at the same time can't be a coincidence. That was probably because I'm sitting here. Stay. No, stay. I need you to stay. One more. Stay in the chair. Don't move. One more. Thank you. I actually think they triggered that ball on the far right, but I couldn't really tell. I don't ever give them credit for having done anything if it was done around the time that I was moving around the chair. Yeah, if that was you, you're going to have to do that again. That ball is not even oriented well for you to be able to pull that off. I'll leave it like this for a few minutes. You, get on there. The guy that's on me ain't doing a thing. Get that ball right there. No, you get this ball. I want my guy to get this ball right here. You want to try striking right through it, okay? You don't want a lot of movement. You want to rest up, save your energy, and just try to go right through it. So you're going to start from here, and you're going to end up here. Then rest, and try one strike every 2 seconds. Strike, wait 2 seconds, strike again. Yeah, see, you keep doing this, and that if it's not working, then all you've done is spend all of your energy on failing. Well, if you're going after this ball, it's not working. I'm reorienting this ball. No, no, you can't touch those balls until they stop flashing. How else would I know you triggered them? see you trying real hard to get those two on that side there, but you are failing. You could see him every once in a while. You see him really jerk himself, but well, I'm gonna do hide and seek early today. I'm gonna do that right now. I need to move around. It's hot in here. until this guy starts succeeding. What time is it? It looks like it's 1:30 something, so I guess at 1:45 I'll reorient. Until then, try. You got to use one strike. Either strike the ball, and if that doesn't work, try going right through it. So if you shoot for that ball, you'd start from here and you end here with that in the middle. Go right through like that. Okay. With the balls that are here, you can hit this lip, and it'll light up multiple balls. Alright, that's all the reorienting I'm going to do right now. I'm telling you, you should be able to get one of these balls lit up. Alright, so I'm just going to kick back. Watch what you do. good, he left and I didn't know. Hang on, I gotta do something with this. I'm gonna change to something. Come on. This thing should have been working. Okay, can you connect? Okay, you can connect. Well, that was nice of him. See, he came right back. I didn't have to set up another guy in the chair. Lucky day. Okay, I'm gonna move this chair just a little bit. That's me. That's not them. They didn't set that off. You don't get credit for shit, so don't go celebrating. Okay, you are failing. Maybe it wasn't you, but it was one of your buddies. I'm assuming that second ball went off because I hit the lip with the third ball, but who knows? All right, so now I'm producing a lot more Wi-Fi traffic, which between that and the fan here, that's a tremendous amount of energy I'm giving this guy. The only way I could do this better, I'll have to set this up for next week. What I'll do is I'm going to move the chair closer because I'm guessing, one of the things that's going to affect the amount of energy they have is how close. No, no, don't go. Come on, get back here. What are you scared of, man? Come on, I'm not going to hurt you. Get back here. That was me. You. You bitch. This is you now, and if you're scaring this guy off, knock it off. I'm tired of doing this. I'm already out of energy today. One more. Thank you. Was that him that hit that ball? Because I'm not giving him credit for that. If you just hit that ball, sorry. You're going to have to hit it again. I don't give you credit for it. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wait even longer, aren't we? Strike it by going through them, okay? This ball, you're going to start here, you're going to end here. I don't need you to go like that. It doesn't work, okay? Strike, wait a second. Strike again, wait 2 seconds. Strike a different ball, okay? You should not be striking more than 30 times in a minute, and you're striking more than 100 times a minute. The Jedasoft screen has gone blank. time that we got here? All right, it's 45 minutes past the hour. Look, man, I only like doing these for no more than an hour, and you're killing me with this. We're here 45 minutes into it, and you haven't gotten one. So, yeah, you're not impressing me. I see you trying hard. Okay, you're really hammering away at those two balls on the left there. I think you're hammering away on them and not trying to beat up the guy that's on me. Yeah, I'm gonna have them at some point as soon as they can light up a ball or two. Then I'm gonna try to get them to fight each other. Yeah, it's really odd, even though they're all kind of they're correlated. Uh, if I get rid of one of these guys, there's going to be another guy to replace him who's going to copy him and pretend to be him in the hopes that they'll get the same attention that this guy is getting. And so, with that said, it hasn't been worthwhile for me to pay anybody to get rid of these things anymore. I paid for the first bunch of them. All right, well, I'm going to sit back until the top of the hour and then we're going to reorient and then maybe change the guy out because you're sucking it. what's happening here? See that middle light there, real easy. It's always the one I'm looking at, is that middle light on the string there. What I'm pointing at right now. What's happening there, buddy? I'm seeing a lot of failing. what's going on here, buddy? You need me to reorient? Unlike past weeks, I am not seeing any activity to the right of the chair, which is usually where. That was me. I'll move this back again a little bit. The reason why I think the distance between the chair and the camera matters is because they are not occupying space just in the chair alone. Okay, they're occupying space not only here, because you can see they react to me when I do that, right? But if I get closer to the camera and I do it, oh yeah, you see. Okay, now I need you to trigger these balls and light them up. All right. All right. I'm going to reorient a couple of these balls. Don't move. Okay. No idea if that's going to work for you at all. I'm going to move this ball back. So we're reorienting 4. There you go. Now I've given you a lot of new stuff to play with here. Yeah, there's some balls up on my stand here. They're always going after this one here. Let's see if I move right next to it. If the guy that's on me will start striking at the ball to that right. I'm looking at the Jedasoft screen right now. Just trying to see if any of that activity is coming from me. It's not. Okay, so on the Jedasoft screen, you can see them clearly going after that middle ball on the string. And there appears to be, well, it might be 2 guys there. I'm thinking the second guy, looking at the Jedasoft screen, it's just adding legs to me. It's seeing me in the mirror and it's adding the legs, but the guy to the right of me on that screen is not me. Okay, and they went a couple of times after that ball all the way on the right. So I'm going to try to point at a ball in an attempt to get the guy that's on me just to jump the gap between my finger and the ball and light it up. Strike that ball. I can tell they're not getting anywhere with that ball because one of the things that is a telltale sign once they do make contact with one of the balls on the string, it'll make the string move a little bit, and so the balls will bounce around after one has been struck, and it's very, very subtle. But they're hammering away at this thing, and the stuff on the string it couldn't be any more stationary than it is. All right, So I'm going to point at this ball. Okay, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to try pointing at that ball because my right hand is no longer visible, right? I mean, it's no longer tracking. You can see my left hand is interacting with my right hand now. My right hand is behind my back. So what I'm going to do with my left hand, or with my right stick figure free, I'm going to point at the ball right there and see if that'll make them actually do something. Go ahead, that ball right there. Let's try a different ball. Trigger that ball. Okay, so you're seeing his right arm is getting more animated, and if you can see now my right arm, which is not visible, both my right and my left arms on the stick figure are tracking just my left arm. And so what I'm trying to do is get this guy to strike at that second ball, which I think he's doing, because I could feel a lot of activity in my hand there, but it's impossible because we don't have depth. And to gain depth, I would need to add a LiDAR, which I'm happy to test on video, but uh, I would rather test it on my own first to see exactly how it works. But in the absence of death, I can't tell. Sorry, in the absence of depth, rather, not death. I can't tell if the guy that's on me is striking at the guy in the chair, or if the guy that's on me is striking at the ball. That was me. I hit the string. Well, you're failing. Yeah, just to touch on what I was discussing earlier, because they occupy this space between the camera and the chair, um, I think the longer the distance um, between the chair and the camera, the less energy they're going to have, because they occupy all of the space from the camera, which is in front of that Jedasoft screen by, oh, I'd say about 8 or 9 inches. Okay, so it, I would, I could only imagine by displaying themselves over the span of a, oh, this is at least 5 feet between the chair and the camera. I'm sure if it was only 3 feet, then their energy would be more concentrated. Okay, but most of the time when we have success, I think we have success because of somebody other than who's in the chair is actually coming around and striking at some of these balls. Right now on the Jedasoft screen, I'm not showing that activity really. So, but I'm going to move the chair to where I usually have it. We'll get a little bit more of a view by backing it up. Okay. Me being near here is not it. Oh, good. Well, that's all right. I'm happy to change contestants at this point. Testing. All right, buddy. Hit the string like that. Hit the chair like that, or hit this lip here. All of those things will illuminate, will trigger these balls, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna move you. If if you hit the ball, that should trigger it. Okay, I want to make sure none of the balls are touching. All right, so you can strike at the balls, and each individual ball you should be able to trigger. If that doesn't work, try going right through it. So instead of hitting it and striking the ball, go right through it. So start from here and end up here with it in the middle and just strike down at it. Okay, that should at least the balls on the string, that should give you, between striking it or striking through it, one of those methods should work. If it doesn't, hit the string itself. They've only triggered multiple balls simultaneously one time. And I should have had them continue to practice doing that after they did it. It may very well have been something that they did accidentally. But I have had some success where if I can get them to illuminate the same ball 2, 3 times in a row, what I can get them to do is uh, illuminate that ball and then go to either the opposite side of the chair, or if the ball they triggered was on the chair, that I would have them move over to the balls on the string and they could actually get two balls illuminated at the same time. In order to achieve that, you would have to trigger a ball within 10 seconds of triggering a different ball. But we are not having any success here at all today. I don't know what to make of this, because we've had a couple of kind of really dead days where success took a long time. And it makes me think I may have to switch the recording time to Sunday morning instead of Sunday late afternoon, early evening. Right now, I'm recording at 4 p.m. Pacific on Sunday, okay, per the telecom companies. The peak activity that I observed for a few years when I brought that to the telecom companies that I work with, uh, cable provider and two cell providers, and they all indicated that their peak activity was exactly the same as the peak activity of these things. That's how I figured out that they were feeding off of high frequency signals. At the time, I didn't know if it was Wi-Fi or if it was cell, but T-Mobile in particular was able to prove to my satisfaction that it likely wasn't them. And then just by process of elimination, taking the Wi-Fi out of the house had had an immediate positive difference. I mean, when I say immediate, I'd say within 36 hours. They take the energy in their batteries. They can hold on to it for, from what I can gather, they can hold on to it a maximum of maybe 36 hours. And then at that point, they have to gain more energy. And so, knowing what they feed off of, if it's cell and Wi Fi, understand I have very limited control as to, oh, Jesus, they're having problems triggering the ball. You can't see it because I've got the phone, the Jedasoft screen blocking the phone, but they just triggered a ball twice on my. They just triggered 3 times now. They triggered a ball. Let me see how to do this now. Uh, Let me try. I guess that's the better way. I gotta do it this way. We'll turn that a little bit there. We'll turn that a little bit there. You see how eager they are to want to help me with this? When we use the sound equipment and I ask them why the hell you're here, the reason they're able to get me to keep playing with them is because their answer is consistent. Science is how they respond. I'm like, no. The whole purpose of doing this is because I don't want to set science back a couple of 100 years by not telling anybody this is going on. Let me get somebody back in the chair. Hang on. I reoriented that is because they were setting off lights up here. As you could see on the screen where the screen is, right underneath it, the flickering lights. Yeah. Ah, damn it. I didn't want to do that. That ball right there. You see it flickering underneath the monitor? That's the ball they just set off. So when they set that ball off, that's that's my cue to reorient, because that means they're not having success with any of the balls. I'm actually glad they left, because I needed to reorient anyway. I might as well reorient them and then put the new guy back in. Stay in the chair. Need one more. Thank you. All right, so that'll give us a better view. I can't read that clock. All right, I'll give you two. If you can't trigger any of those balls, go ahead and trigger the ball up underneath the monitor here, this one. All right, and then I'll reorient the balls. But you better try all of those balls a couple of different ways, a couple of different times before you have me reorient, okay? Are you still hitting that? No, you're not. Well, this guy is more animated. And him being physically closer to the fan gives him a little bit more energy. Any fan motor, from my experience, is bleeding magnetic energy, which you can plainly see off of any trimeter. Just take the trimeter and put it, hold it to the back of the fan motor, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And so one of the things that they did that was particularly insidious was that they would turn the ceiling fan on in the middle of the night, right? And they were doing it because they copied the infrared beam from the remote control, and then they could play it back whenever they wanted to. And so I forget where I was going with that, but I'm not. I was going to say I'm not seeing any activity on the Jedasoft screen. Are you screwing this with this guy or what? Let me see you strike at these balls a couple times. Try it. Hit them. Hit these balls. Hit them. Hit these balls. I could feel activity on that finger. All right, well, we're getting a new contestant, and I'm going to move him closer to the screen. we go. We got one. There you go, buddy. Well done. Hey, there you go. You got two. Jeez, we got it. Wow. So, that was amazing. All right. An hour and 25 minutes into it, they got both of them, and he got the same one over. Is that a different one, or I don't remember? I got to look if he triggered that one or the one next to it. But now he's on fire. Let's give him another minute, see what else he could do. I oriented the ball on the far left, the first one they triggered. I oriented that one in a way that would not at all be advantageous for me to be able to trigger it by hitting the chair, or at least I wouldn't think so. You got that ball down, but try to get another ball while that ball is blinking. You're doing good. Yeah, you're doing good on that ball. I can't believe it. That ball is in the exact opposite position that I would move it in if I wanted to make it easy for me to illuminate. All right, look, I'll give you 5 more minutes, and then that's it. I'm going to wrap this whole thing up in 4 minutes. We'll keep this recording at 90 minutes. Okay, I'll give him 2 more minutes to trigger another ball. If he doesn't, and then we'll try having him fight. I'm only going to do that once, then I'll do the mirror test and call it a day. Good. You can light up one of the other balls you want to light up the ball on the table there. You want to light up one of these balls on the string. I'm surprised you haven't gotten any of the balls on the string. They triggered the middle ball before I started recording today, but that's it. Those balls, I have them on the string just for that reason, because they should behave in an incredibly consistent manner. And plus, you have the option of just hitting the string, which will trigger no less than one of them. Right, it should trigger 3, but it'll at least trigger an average of 2. All right, well, that's as good as it gets for today. I mean, I'm sure they'll do more. They're just not going to do it while we're here. So, I want to take this guy out of the chair. Now let's try to get him to fight first. Hang on. Okay. All right, so I got this guy on the sheet, right? And I can show you that because I'm going to move to the left of the sheet over here, okay? And understand, he can see and feel like he's choosing to display himself as a human being, a stick figure, arms and legs. But he could see out of the same, right? So he's making himself look like a human being, but if I put my hand in front of his face, he can examine my hand by touching it, coming into contact with it. Okay, but he could do that with his face, he could do that with his hand, he can do it with his foot. They're all made of the same thing. It's not like he can't see me using his arm. It's the same. If his hand is touching me, it would be the same as his face were touching me. That's why the hide and seek can be kind of deceptive, because he's not necessarily going to move his face over there. I'm just going to go to one side, and for him to find me, see, he'll just put his arm over there, and he considers that to be found. I'm over here. Psst. Psst. I'm over here. Ah, you get an idea. The response time on that last one was pretty good. You could see that they do get better as the game goes on, but really we can't expect them to move their head over to look at what I'm doing. If his arm is on the other, outside of the fabric, and the arm is appearing to be in contact with me. Well, he could see with his arm just like he could touch me with his eyes. It's no different. His entire body, the biology of it, is exactly the same, regardless of what part of the body. If they wanted to display themselves as a dog, they could do that. And they do that if there are dogs around. Okay, so now I'm going to move this guy out of the way. Yeah, now if you hit those lights, nobody's going to see it. The only lights we can see now are the balls on the Jedasoft screen. We can see more, but the balls on the string are about all you can see. So I'm going to open up the door, and we've got to look at the infrared display. Actually, what I should do is I should change this display out. I'm going to change this and put the infrared over. Okay, so now I'm the guy in yellow. It's tracking the mirror because it's got a unique heat signature, and it's tracking the guy in the chair. The guy in the chair is purple, I guess, although Testing 1, 2. Okay. I have no idea when I lost my sound. I'm assuming it was before I did the mirror test. So I'm going to do the mirror test one more. Again, Microsoft only tracks limbs for 2 people simultaneously. Okay, so we've got the ghost here in the chair. We've got the other guy that's on me, which I can see is on me because my left arm is behind my back, and I can take my right hand and interact with my left hand, and I can feel it touching my fingertips. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to begin, it won't limb track, but it will track me in the way that you can see that on the infrared screen that we're looking at here is it'll have a character in the mirror that's a different color, not gray. Gray is just how it looks. It'll assign blue or green or something as soon as my reflection appears in that mirror. There we are. Okay, so you see, there it was. Okay, in the mirror you see a blue character. Okay, and you can see like I'm moving my hand around and stuff like that, and it's not great. There we are. Yeah, there's no correlation between the movement that's going on the yellow figure and the movement that's going on the blue figure. But it's very difficult to determine that based on the way that the screen is laid out right now. It would be a lot easier if I get rid of the guy in the chair. So let's get rid of the guy in the chair. You, I need to go. Now get out. Out, 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 out. Okay, so now this will limb track. I'm going to open this mirror and it's going to limb track. There we go. Okay, so now we've got a red figure. I don't know what you call that other color. But here you can plainly see, based on the limb tracking on my character, the character in yellow, right? I've got my left hand behind my back. Okay, and it shows my left hand being right there. It actually shows it as being on my side. On the other hand, the guy in the mirror is moving in a very spastic, disoriented manner. The guy that's on me is staying fairly still. And so I have no idea what to say about that phenomenon, only that the character doesn't appear and it jumps the person in the mirror rather than the person. I can't have more than one of these things attached to me simultaneously. That's why when I put him in the chair, I ask for one more to jump me immediately so that the guy in the chair can't jump me, because as soon as one's on me, nobody else can do it, or they don't want to do it. Hard to say. All right, let me try making them fight one more time, and then we'll call it a day. I'm going to put one guy in the chair. No, no, stay. Ugh, I need you to stay in the chair. I can't do this anymore. Oh, you didn't stay, you bitch. Come on. Oh, there you are. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get these guys to fight. Yeah, the fact that they both disappear simultaneously means that this their action is somehow related to whatever I just did by putting them together like that, crowding each other's spaces or whatever. I really don't know. Anyway, I'll do this one more time. No, I need you to stay in the chair. Stay in the chair. Don't move. I need one more. Thank you. Fight, 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 fight. Again, both disappeared simultaneously. They did trigger. That's not me that triggered that ball on the left there. That was them. Let me wait for that to shut off first. They may have actually triggered the middle ball right before I picked up the chair, but it was too close for me to be able to ascertain that result. Okay, so they're actually hitting this ball on the left. Let's look at the Jedasoft screen. Oh yeah, we can see the guy that's on me is hitting the ball on the right. You gonna do it again? There you go. You got it. Yeah, so I don't even know that the guy in the chair probably set the balls off on the right, but I never know who sets it. When they set that ball off on the far left, when they trigger that one, I think more than not it is the character that's on me, because usually what I see is when I get up out of this bed and I walk past this chair, that's usually when I see the most activity. I'll walk past the chair and one of the lights will illuminate. And it happens with such frequency that it's made it difficult to believe that it's not at all related. Anyway, I went over. Sorry about the length. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions in terms of what tests you'd like to see me run, by all means, let me know what they are and I will perform those tests live. Uh, that's it for me, guys.